Let me know when we're up and running.
We are up and running, and
Oh,
man, you're just ruining everything, aren't you? Here,
that's what I do.
Anthos is here just to ruin stuff.
That's my role.
Well, you're doing it pretty well. Thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Anyway, game 2 here between the Solaire Club and Instant Reflex in the Gold Cycle 2 round of 16. Game 1 going to the throw, I think, from Instant Reflex, because the Solaire Club definitely did really well to come back in that game, but no doubt there were some pretty serious throws for them, and I can't even think anymore because that game was freaking crazy. But
Yeah, I'm sure at no point in that game did Instant Reflex even think for a split second that they could lose that game. Until, not the very end, but after they got that first Rax. So well played coming out from Solaire Club. They played that very well, and despite being at a huge disadvantage, 20k gold, 20k experience, they managed to come back and win.
yeah, and we'll see if they can carry that momentum into game 2. I got to imagine that they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now, and I mean, I'm expecting some pretty good things from them in this game too, because I got to imagine that the mentality is much better on the Legion side right now than it is on the Hellborn side. But Legion side going to ban out Swiftblade and Ophelia. Hellborn going to take out Cthulhuphant and Parasite. So typical Hellborn bans once again on that Elephant and the Parasite. Swiftblade going to be addressed sometime early this time, and Ophelia also taken out. That does leave Riptide open, and we've seen him banned and picked very early. So expecting to see him at this point.
It's hard to say. I mean,
Yeah.
he is still a very strong mid hero. He can be countered fairly easily, but as far as potential goes, especially early in mid game, I think he's still a dominant hero.
And with the Gauntlet and Magnus pickups from the Legion and the Hellborn side, perhaps a little bit less, as those are both typically mid heroes. Of course, Magnus can be played as a suicide, and every so often we'll even see him as a short laner. Gauntlet will occasionally also be seen as a short laner, and of course, Tri-Lane does remain open to either of them. So potential for Riptide for both sides, but I think a little bit lower with both of those first picks. And the Gauntlet first pick, man, I love you, Solaire Club, but no, just that's not a first pick hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I would have liked to see Rhapsody as a first pick and perhaps, a stronger pick. I mean, you saw a lot of heroes on the board that are much better and much more often picked than Gauntlet, such as Rally, DM, Bubbles, Hag, whatever it might be. Gauntlet's one of those heroes that you can pick 4th or 5th, and there's almost no chance of it getting banned, so I don't see why you would first pick a hero such as that.
No doubt. And I mean, we saw it last game with who was it that they picked really early? Rally, I think. They picked him second. Who did they first? Did they first pick? No, who did they first pick last game? Damn it. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either, actually.
I felt like it was weird though. Weren't we talking about like why'd you first pick that hero?
Perhaps it was Aluna.
No, Aluna was the third pick on the Legion
Raleigh
side.
was second pick. I think it was Torture first pick.
Torture was third
I
pick.
could be wrong though.
No, it was Rhapsody first pick for the Hellborn side. I think it might have been Gauntlet first pick for the Legion.
Yeah, Rhapsody's a pretty standard first pick, man. I mean, that's in my opinion, the strongest support hero in the game right now with that ultimate. That ultimate is a huge team fight changer. It can turn the tides. And I like the Bubbles pickup that the Solaire Club just got. One of my favorite heroes to play.
No doubt.
Huge playmaker hero. I support it indefinitely.
I agree. I mean, not only Rhapsody one of the best support right now, I think far and away the best support, but possibly, I think he's up there for best hero in the game. I know we've talked about Swiftblade, you've talked about Magnus before. I don't think I'd put Magnus quite up there, but I think she's definitely in the conversation right now for the strongest hero in the game.
Yeah.
It's definitely an arguable point, but I think you have to have that name in there if you want to be taken seriously. But yeah, Legion side going to start out with Gauntlet, Rhapsody, and Bubbles, so I'm liking what they're doing so far. Meanwhile, the Hellborn time, I could pick up Magnus, Torture, and Aluna. Oh my god.
Quincy, I'm convinced that you're cursed at this point.
Can I please just quit? Like,
These teams, here's the thing, man. Both teams have anticipated how much you're going to hate Aluna as you're casting the games, and they pick it simply to spite you. So, I think you just got to deal with it at this point. Learn to embrace the Aluna.
I can't do it. Honestly, though, like I don't even like Torture all that much either. He's a decent support hero, but I don't think he's as good as most teams think he is. I really don't like this draft so far here from the Hellborn side. The Magnus first pick is fine. I don't no, that's fine, whatever. You can go ahead and do that. It's a really strong hero, does a lot for you. But the follow-up with Torture is just a decent hero, and a Luna, just please, 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 please stop using this freaking hero.
Yeah,
But
I think Torture can be a strong hero with certain heroes to complement him. I mean, following a Magnus, I think Torture's a great pick because you have that Magma Sun, which can catch quite a few heroes, many of the times heroes right next to each other, and Torture can just run up and follow up with his stun, and that's, a total of like 4 seconds at max out levels, so that's no joke. Torture can also put out quite a bit of damage output following a Magnus initiation with an Eruption and stun. So I think it's a great hero to go with a Magnus. A Luna, not so much, but I like the Torture pick in this case. Not my favorite hero either, but in this case I think it's a great pick.
yeah, and I don't know. I think mostly it's just a comfort hero more than anything. So I understand that mentality, but I still just think that the hero's not that good, and if it's picked up because it is a comfort factor, then it shouldn't be picked up. Just learn how to play a better hero. But regardless, Legion side has banned out here Engineer, Wretched Hag, and Rally. Hellborn going to take out Glacius, Empath, and Clank. So targeting 2 supports there, as well as the Clanks that wrecked them last game. And the Legion side banning Rally. That's okay. They picked it up last game. I don't know why.
I mean, so far this Hellborn team is almost all magic damage. They're going to need some physical presence, most definitely. And Rally is one of the go-to heroes as far as physical damage is concerned.
I would expect a Drunken Master over a Rally if you're looking for physical presence. Oh.
Yeah, I prefer Drunken Master as well.
But Silhouette going to be here, as Marcus Moy is known for playing this hero. Of course, Mini Maggot used to play on this Instant Reflex team and has mentioned before several times that Marcus Moy is notorious for playing Silhouette, is very, very good with Silhouette, and loves to play Silhouette. So better expect some big things coming out this game, and not quite as many small plays as we saw last game, because I think the consensus was at the end that perhaps didn't have the best late game there. He did quite well to get to this level of farm, but at the end, some questionable decision making here with Silhouette. Has another opportunity to play one of his favorite heroes. And but Myrmidon, what do you think?
I think Myrmidon's a great hero, especially in tri-lanes. I would be very surprised if we did not see a tri-lane this game, as they have a Rhapsody, Gemini, Gauntlet. They might even have Gemini solo lane, but I think they're going to choose to have Gauntlet in a solo lane, with Myrmidon, Rhapsody, Gemini, hopefully in that top lane to counter that Silhouette. But as you said before, man, Marcus Moy plays a mean Silhouette, and in my opinion, I think Silhouette is the strongest carry hero in the game at the moment.
I'm not going to go that far.
That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people would not agree with it, but she's just so hard to kill, and her damage output, especially mid-late game, is just insane. And she can get Nullstone so early, making her near impossible to kill.
Really, the only significant problem I have with Silhouette is, without a portal key, she can't chase very well, because the Tree Grapple just isn't a great stun, and she has some issues catching heroes, getting into fights appropriately. She needs usually at least a portal key, sometimes even a portal key and an energizer, to be able to be like in the right position. And I don't know, maybe that's just me because I'm not very good, but I play a decent Silhouette, and I've had issues in the past, just like I can't catch these people because I feel so slow. I don't know.
Well, that's where the rest of your team comes in. I mean, compared to TMM, you have these gold diamond matches where your team allows you the opportunity to jump in, follow behind. Especially with a CC-heavy team like this one, Magnus, Torture, Luna, Chipper. So, I mean, they definitely provide a substantial amount of CC, which will help the Silhouette. But she's just such a mobile hero and has really big damage output. Along with those swaps, man. Those swaps are so annoying when you're versing a Silhouette.
And she farms too. I mean, the other thing I had to consider about her is she doesn't have necessarily a really obvious flash farming mechanic. I mean, Death Lotus is a good ability, but it's not like, oh, this is going to clean waves like crazy. It does, though. It does, and the Relentless Salvo does a lot to help her kill stuff, but most importantly is the illusion that allows her to effectively move from one lane to another, basically without wasting any time. So, wouldn't be surprising at all to see her hit 500, 600 gold per minute pretty easily here. Where is that going to get dropped? Right on top of Bubbles. I know exactly where he is. There's a Lava Surge from Magnus. Can they follow this up appropriately? Shell Surf there, completely misplayed that. As, I don't know if he expected the Torture to have a stun as well instead of Impalement. I certainly did. And figured that he was going to have the ability to just do a quick shell surf and dodge the sun, then it'd be okay. But impalement damage and power throw, really
I
easy
think
kill.
he panicked. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
When you're stunned like that, you just keep hitting Q. A lot of people do, and you know, that's what he must have done. He hit Q really quickly, hit it again, and he moved about 2 feet total.
Right in range of the impalement, then got himself stuck in the trees, of course, and then the power throw. Not going to do too well there, so looks like despite the first blood being in bottom and looking like they might run an aggro tri-lane here on the Hellborn side, they are in fact going to leave Magnus in the suicide lane, and I'm worried about him because I don't feel like he should win this lane at all, and he could definitely get killed by Bubbles' burst magical damage, so despite the bloodlust on Bubbles, I do expect him to have a good time down here, and I'm a little bit worried about the suicide Magnus.
You never know about Magnus, man. It's like
Yeah.
the article I just wrote about, let's see, Millstone Gaming. Fuzzy Sloth's Suicide Magnus beat a Wretched Hag in a lane. I mean, you never know with
Yeah.
that hero. If he can get those volcanic touches off along with a well-placed stun, I mean, against the Bubbles, it's especially hard to do. But if he plays it right, you know, he absolutely has the potential to get even a first blood in this lane. Well, not a first blood at this point, but you know what I mean. Get a kill.
And you look at top lane, it looks like a Rhapsody and Gemini lane up here. And Cannondorf getting kited all the way through the river, chasing down an Luna, trying to get a kill, and missing at least a full wave, possibly more, of CS. Which, like, I get that they want the kill, but once you go, you know, more than halfway down this little path here into the river, you gotta turn back and be like, yeah, okay, even if we get the kill, at this point it's not worth it, because I'm missing experience, I'm missing creep kills, and meanwhile Silhouette's free farming up here, so bit of a misplay, I feel like, there.
Yeah, and it looks like Myrmidon will finally be roaming top, hopefully stopping for the rune on the way, but that's
Gemini
what she
gonna
needs to
have
be
to
doing.
twin fangs out of there, as he will be okay. But yeah, this is gonna be an aggro tri-lane versus safe lane tri-lane, and in general, I do favor the aggro tri-lane just because it does, of course, open up the safe lane, and it tends to do a little bit better than the safe lane tri-lane. But the Hellborn, they've got not only a bunch of ranged heroes here as opposed to the melee Gemini, but Myrmidon. One of the big issues with him, of course, is he has that short range and can't effectively harass. Silhouette here going to be in trouble, actually. Twin Fang stun, not going to connect. Isn't going to be enough. Nope. Tree grapple away. He'll be just fine. And drops the health pot. Will be okay.
So close.
Yep. If the Twin Fangs had connected, then would have been a kill, but obviously not the easiest stun in the game to hit.
As you were saying, though, Myrmidon does have very short attack range, which definitely hinders her quite a bit, but she makes up for it in her ability to drop enemy heroes and keep them CC'd.
Yep.
Weedfield is a fantastic ability. It can keep up to, you know, as many heroes as you'd like CC'd. Great follow-up, especially with Rhapsody, and then Gemini can just stun in, hopefully closing in on the kill.
Yep. And her early game damage output, too, is also very, very strong, as with just those two spells, you know, you can take a pretty significant amount of magic damage pretty quickly.
I think Myrmidon's a really fun hero, and she can be good in some cases, but I think that Myrmidon especially shines in a tri-lane.
Yes, no doubt, and that's really where we see most of her. I'm not sure how many dual lanes we've seen with Myrm, just because, you know, there are heroes that, even if they're as powerful in laning phase, they scale a little bit better, and, of course, she's just not the greatest zoning support because of her range issues. So, we'll see how Myrm does this game. Definitely a fun hero to see, and one we don't see very often. But yeah, do you feel like Myrmidon doesn't scale all that well? I don't know. I feel like I've had that impression.
It depends. I mean, her CC is strong throughout the game. That Weedfield is strong even into the late game. You can shut down a number of heroes with it. I still like Magikarp if somebody moves through it. That's a big 2-second stun. And, I mean, usually don't see Myrmidon get items, but while they are running a dual support in this, Myrmidon will be enabled, hopefully, to get some items. And I like to see Myrmidon with items because that ultimate really starts to shine.
Yeah, I feel like my
seeing that
problem
hero
with her...
quite a bit. One of my favorite supports to play, and really a fun one to watch, to say the least.
I feel like my problem with her is just that I can't land stuff later on because people's move speed is too high. I mean, you stop at the right time, Magikarp's pretty easy to avoid, and Weedfield has a significant time between when it goes off and when it actually stuns you, so... Yes, definitely, if you have the right coordination with the team, then it can be a ridiculously powerful ability, of course, but later on a little bit more difficult. Meanwhile, Twin Fangs will connect this time. Weedfield not going to hit, though. And Twin Fangs are there. No, last auto attack. Power supply from Marcus Moy.
Wow.
I
Second
mean,
time he's been below 30 HP, just
he
barely
was
getting
dead.
away.
He was dead there, except the power supply.
Yeah,
That last auto
that's
attack from
huge,
Rhapsody
man.
was coming in, and that would have killed him.
If Gemini could be landing kills, that would jump his gold
Yeah.
just significantly, and they would have a really big advantage in this tri lane.
Once again, though, actually, Rhapsody gonna die there as I took my attention away from the top lane for half a second because Chipper was initiating onto Gauntlet in the middle, and of course that's when Rhapsody decides to take a death. Stupid team.
I feel like Myrmidon's really missing his weed fields. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have gotten up. He could have gotten 3 heroes there.
There's
if he had
one,
played it
and
right.
the Twin Fangs follow-up, so actually that's not bad, but they're going to look for the turnaround. Once again, the power supply, not only to save his life, but kills Canador.
Wow. Just the power of the power supply. The power of the power supply is just really shining here. Gemini's used it 3 times now to save his ass, and it's paying off.
And I gotta
I'm going
say,
to give my number 7 insight. If you're in a tri lane,
get a power
definitely
supply.
get a power supply or a mana battery.
Yeah.
Very strong item, huge for clutch plays, and I think it's really overlooked, especially in TMM.
Yeah, and in a lot of dual lanes too. It is quite powerful, especially if you have heroes that tend to cast a lot and are getting
Yeah.
aggressive. So not just
Chipper,
tri lanes.
Thunderbreak.
It's not just a mid-wars item, people. But I do feel like Marcus Moy has been a little lucky. Like, he's gotten away 3 times now with easily under 50 health, once that he definitely should have died. And,
Yeah.
I mean, they need some luck here. They're down 0-1, but maybe play a little bit safer because eventually that's not going to work out so well. Although maybe at this point
Yeah.
they're far enough ahead. Magikarp
The
there.
fact that they now have 2 kills in this top lane is really scary for this Legion team.
And Rhapsody going to get dropped once again. Weedfield actually does connect onto 2. Saint Rock's going to fall. And they will maybe get the kill on the Silhouette. No. Initiation there from Magnus as well as he rotates. Candorf also going to fall. No mana here onto this Myrmidon. Going to be a pretty easy kill as the Lobster's coming back in. Rockets are also there from Chipper. And they're trying to give this kill to Silhouette. Maybe no. Finally, Lobster just takes it there. So, clean up on the tri-lane.
It's unfortunate, man. They had a great chance 3 times against that Silhouette, and the fact that they got that first kill off onto Gemini has just, it's snowballed. And now we're at a 6-1 disadvantage on part of Solaire Club. And
middle lane, actually,
yeah,
Chipper gonna get jumped. Pretty easy kill there. Gauntlet Blast followed up by the hook and the jump from Gemini. Magnus
They
not
need
able
that.
to do too much. Yeah, they really do.
Yeah,
Not only
they
that,
can
but
start picking off a lot more.
Bubbles is level 7, and he hasn't rotated yet. Finally does pick up Teleport here. But he's had Kelpfield for a long time, and I feel like once he hit 6, I don't know if the lane just wasn't pushed up and he couldn't move or something, but Magnus rotated, so it felt like he could have too. He's had that ultimate. I don't understand why he's not trying to make kills happen in this top lane especially.
Yeah, Kelpfield is a really strong ulti, especially early game, and in a tri-lane where you can hit up to 3 heroes in it. I think that Bubbles definitely should have rotated and hopefully have been there for the last team fight. I think that could have turned the tides quite a bit.
Because, I mean, Silhouette
man.
once again got low, and Gemini here going to be in a lot of trouble. There's the Sawblade Showdown. Easy burst. Kelpfield now onto Magnus, but, yeah, there's the...
Wow.
Nicely done with the Lava Surge and the turn onto Bubbles, so...
This is unfortunate from the Solaire Club.
I mean...
I don't see how, a tri-lane Gemini, I know that it is a long lane for them, but he's only at 184 GPM, 1-3.
Yeah.
Just 8 minutes into this game.
I think a big part of it is just the range disadvantage. They didn't have the harass support on the Legion side. Hellborn had both Torture and Rhapsody, along with the Silhouette, who's a little bit low. But nice hook there onto Chipper. Not going to be enough, as it looks like he will be able to skirt right on out of there. And I think it just comes down to the fact that Gemini has to sit off of the wave, because if he gets up in there, he's going to get auto-attacked, and he's going to take a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, that on top of the fact that they missed quite a few opportunities. I mean, they could have landed kills 3 different times on a Silhouette, and that would have been the game changer in that top lane. But, instead, he persisted, he survived with that mana battery, and it's really showing now that that surviving has done a lot of good for this team.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you look at Silhouette right now, 3-0-2, 375 gold per minute. In terms of CS, she's not doing that much better than a lot of Legion heroes, but it's that 5-kill involvement that's really made the difference here. And it looks like Rhapsody's going to get caught once again. Stacking stuns a little bit there, but will be enough there. The power throw cleaning up the kill. And Gemini not able to do too much, of course, isn't that split dog for him, so a little bit less powerful, but
Bubbles
taking
in trouble up
advantage.
top.
No doubt he is. He's got Shell Surf and Take Cover, though, so he should be able to skirt out of this. No problem. There's a Shell Surf comes in, and Torture wastes his stun, but actually a fair bit of impalement damage is going to be taken here. Oh god, is he going to... Yep, he's dead. And meanwhile, bottom lane, actually, Army of Mums dies as well. Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know why he didn't go over the cliff. As opposed to back into the Hellborn Woods.
This team is just not communicating. I mean, from last game, you can tell that Instant Reflex is just pissed off. They're thirsty for revenge, and they're definitely getting it. 2-11 lead, only 10 minutes into the game with a 5k, 6k gold experience lead.
Yeah.
That's huge, man, and you cannot overlook that this early into the game.
And you know, we've seen Chipper Masera here at 330 gold per minute, obviously an early game hero, does a lot of burst damage, and you don't want to let that hero get any sort of farm early on because it will start to screw you up. More importantly, of course, that Silhouette, nearly 400 gold per minute, compared to the Gemini at sub 200. So mid-game, early game, and late game, all looking in favor of Instant Reflex at this point. And I don't know, I'm worried once again for the Legion side, although, hey, we said that last game, and ended up doing just fine.
And
so,
that's putting it nicely.
Yeah. We basically wrote them off entirely, and then they decided, no,
I wouldn't go that far. We were thinking it. We were definitely thinking it, me, you, and Beaver. But
I pretty much wrote them off entirely.
Okay. Well,
I'll admit to that.
Me and Beaver wouldn't do it out of politeness for the Solaire Club, but...
Oh my god.
What?
Myrmidon, you see the word of sight he just dropped next to the Rev? Okay, good. They just had a ward countered there, and I'm like, why are you dropping another word of sight next to a place where you just had a ward countered? But no, they had a Rev, so gonna put down a word of revelation. I don't know why you wouldn't also wait to drop the word of sight, though. At the very least, don't tell them you're dropping a word of sight there.
Yeah.
Or exactly where it is, maybe.
Good point.
Oh well.
Yeah. I don't know if this Myrmidon player is a new player, maybe a sub account, but when I versed the Solaire Club, they did not have this Myrmidon player, Hank. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Welcome to my life of trying to pronounce EU names with the American knowledge of just English and barely that.
Well, English originates from Europe, so...
Yeah, but it's ours now.
Not necessarily.
Don't let them take that away from you. Just
English, England, notice how they kind of sound the same.
They do sound the same, but it's a coincidence.
Yeah. Anyway, since we do have a little break in the game right now, shout out to James, aka True Mentality, tuning into this. Shout out to Flensmeister, big player. And what you got as well. What's up, Sneasel? Oh, and Panny too. What's up, guys? Glad you could join us, along with Znoe, another name that could be pronounced in a couple ways, but I'm just going to go with Znoe because that sounds the best in my opinion.
I think it's Znaui.
But 2 O's.
Look, Swedish, okay?
Whatever.
They don't care about our
I'm going to leave it at that.
Letter rules. To be fair, English doesn't care too much about letter rules either, so nice initiation there in the Gauntlet. Actually, though, gets the illusion. And Silhouette's still going to be in some trouble there. Tree Grapple's back. Pops the power supply. Looks like Entrenus onto Gauntlet. And Silhouette's still in some trouble. Will finally die, so Hangif with that. Myrmidon does pick up the kill. Not really a bad trade there, as they do lose Gauntlet and Myrmidon, but in exchange they pick up the Silhouette.
I mean, in Legion's defense, that was a nice weed field from Myrmidon. He anticipated that Silhouette would think that Myrmidon would weed field the actual Silhouette, so he swapped to the illusion, and that's actually where he placed the weed field. So well played on his part.
Yep.
Hang F.
And Silhouette there just, I think, getting a little too aggressive for her own good. Saw 2 heroes there, and instead of running away, just figured, oh, I'll get the kill. I don't have a lot of support, but I'm going to go in here and I'll probably be able to get away. And that did not work out too well for her, despite actually eating the Gauntlet blocks with the illusion. Top tower now getting pushed in as the Hellborn have a cannon. Magma's going to disjoint that damage from Infernal Instability with Steam Bath.
Now, I gotta be honest, Quincy. I would love...
There's initiation there actually from Magmus, but a counter weed field onto a Luna. Looks like Gauntlet could simply trouble. Hooks himself back. Not going to be enough. The lost auto attack from a Luna is enough.
That was close.
Yeah, power throw would have finished him off anyway because he had the angle, but nice attempt there with the hook back. And the stuns.
As I was saying just before that, I would love to see the creep efficiency charts for this and the gold efficiency charts because neither team is farming well at all. I mean, on the Hellborn team, you have 1 hero above 300 GPM, and on the Legion's part, none of them above 250.
Hey, I can bring that up.
Really?
Yeah, it's not hard.
I was kind of joking, but it's okay. I was just making a point.
I'm
I
curious.
appreciate the offer, though.
It's actually it's pretty easy because I just type it into Excel and hit a small button, and so it's not particularly difficult, and it is a bit of a passive game right now. So hey, let's do it and see what happens. I actually do have to switch this though because I need. But feel free to keep talking while I don't, because I'm typing things into an Excel spreadsheet and ruining the cast.
Fair enough. Gauntlet going for a hook at mid, missing it. It wasn't even close to being in range to hit Chipper, so I'm not sure what was he attempting there. Panty countering a ward at mid as well, and it looks like Legion might be gathering to get this middle tier 1 Hellborn tower. Hopefully that's the case.
So it looks like... Sorry, go for it.
Go ahead.
It looks like Legion side are currently at about 60.1%. In gold efficiency, Hellborn are at 86.5%. Legion are at 28.4% creep efficiency. Hellborn are at 33.2%.
And that's fairly low as far as other stats I've read on creep efficiency, right?
For creep efficiency, it's actually not bad for Legion side. Their gold efficiency is pretty terrible. 30s, you're typically okay. Meanwhile, top lane actually completely missing that as Silhouette gets in there, but Gauntlet hook back and pretty easy kill. Excellent trade there for Legion side. And they're going to try to gank this bottom lane as well. Aluna getting dropped very, very quickly. Torture not really able to do anything, but will stick around here. Army of Mums did die, though, I guess, in the middle lane. Yeah, must have been because Chipper was there, so... Lots of initiation there. Actually, counter eruption going to come in here perfectly timed. On to 2 heroes.
Wow.
That was beautiful. That was damn beautiful.
Magnus being one of the biggest playmaking heroes in the game. You might see a little bit why I favor that hero as being one of the best heroes in the game. Such strong turn potential.
Yeah, I mean, they set that up perfectly. Like, they had exactly the right bait there with Torturer and Magnus with absolutely perfect timing. Coming in and hitting both heroes with a very effective Eruption and Lava Surge, of course. Did not have a portal key, I believe, before that fight. Now he does. And they're going to probably try to look to get some kills here on this Myrmidon. Yep, there it is. And he's going to be in some trouble. Sawblade Showdown goes down. And the waveform, not quite going to save him. Is the burn going to be there? Nope, deny there from... Bubbles, as despite the power throw coming in, that would have picked up the kill, but instead the burn damage. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a Chipper rocket thing get denied. Anyway, Bubbles off to the side once again gets caught, and he will run away. It looks like they're going to dive the tower here, though. Silhouette really wants this kill. Shellstorm obviously is down. Lava Surge comes onto Gauntlet, who is porting in, followed by the chain reaction stuff. A nice ultimate from Rhapsody, saves a ton of damage. Gauntlet blast there, disjointed by Magnus, and Andalicious on the Rhapsody finally will die, but there goes Mr. Gauntlet as well. Looks like I'm just going to get cleaned up. Gemini in some trouble, trying to run away. Twin Fangs not quite going to be enough. Auto attacks from Chipper. Looks like they should be plenty. Nope, Power Throw finishes him off instead. Of course, no mana for those rockets. And Cannondorf apparently happy about something. Not sure what.
Instant Reflex is really just... They're doing exactly what they need to do against the Solaire Club team. I feel like going into this game, the Solaire Club's strategy was have Bubbles, Myrmidon, Gauntlet, Roam, maybe Rhapsody too. Get wards up, kill heroes, do as much as you can to get Gemini that farm, and they're just, you know, Legion or Hellborn team, Instant Reflex is just exploiting that to the maximum. They're forcing team fights, pushing towers, and they're a huge team fight potential in the early game with, you know, Magnus, Chipper, Torture, Aluna. Is just, it's too much that they can't really do anything yet.
Yeah.
So Legion's just suffering big time.
It doesn't look like things are going to get a lot better for them either because, I mean, Gemini's a good farmer, but he's not that good, and he's currently at 240 gold per minute. He needs items. Like, this is a hero that does ridiculously well with stats. And Rhapsody opposite side here going to get caught. Will actually get picked off by the power throw. I'm not even sure if that was the real Silhouette at any point, but her illusion is sitting right here in the Legion Woods. And trading autos with Marm, they might actually... Yep, she's going to port into that, and taking the bait, but that was really bad because they just turned on the Myrmidon. Now Silhouette could be in some trouble, but she ports right out.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, they clearly set that up. Gauntlet was sitting in the camp going, yeah, eventually he's going to port in, going to try to get this call Myrmidon, and then we'll get the counter kill, but then didn't have the time to react to the hook, so yeah.
Now, Beaver, in regards to what Quincy just said, give us some Gemini insight. What are your thoughts?
Gemini, that is my hero.
Yeah.
I know that,
sorry.
trust me.
What did you say? What were you asking?
What are your thoughts on his farming potential?
Recovery potential, better.
He's a decent farmer. He's not one of those heroes that can get like 600 GPM super easily. But if you can micro his dogs pretty well, I guess you can stay at around like 400 to 550 GPM with team fighting pretty easily. See, it depends on what route you go with the items too. Especially if you go like a Dawnbringer, then of course you're going to be up there with a GPM. But most people decide to go for the Frostwolf, the Geos, for the survivability and the team fight potential. And that's just not a really heavy farming route, so...
And as we see him get caught once again there, so... Cannondorf, 2-7-2.
Wow. I don't think he should have turned around there. What are your thoughts on items he should get this game if they have a chance of bringing this back?
I mean, essentially, he probably needs to pick up investments and a Frostwolf, Geos. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be much coming back, because Gemini is pretty countered by AoE stuns and AoE damage in general. And the Hellborn team is full of that.
Yeah. Saw Blades, Magnus ulti, Torturers, everything. Of course, all issues. And looks like bottom tier 2 tower will be falling here. Top lane. Wow. Sarah with the bad manners right there. Is that message
put things
instead?
into perspective, 6 to 25 hero kill difference in instant reflex's favor, and only 21 minutes into the game, 20k gold, 17k experience difference as well. That's ridiculous.
400
I
plus
mean, we had our
GPM
words
on
last
Chipper.
game, but yet again this game it's looking heavily in instant reflex's favor.
And I think to be fair, last game instant reflex would have won as well if they didn't keep throwing. So, you know, hey, they did
Maybe
it before.
We'll see Silhouette get a codex this game.
Yeah. They did it before, and they could definitely throw again. That is not out of the question, but I still think that last game was a game that they won and then they lost. It wasn't really that the Solaire Club won last game, although they did do very well. It's like we said, we said, how can they come back into this game? It's going to require throws from the other side, and that's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, middle lane actually catch, not going to happen. Chipper missing all sorts of stuff, but still gets Army of Moms killed because he's got 800 health. And wow, not a lot
as we were
of
saying,
survivability.
last game was just a matter of exploiting huge misplays, and they did that so much.
I like this Rhapsody Word of Sight next to the tier 2 tower in middle. It's doing a lot of work.
Wow. They're probably just giving up at this point.
I mean...
Notice he has a ward about 10 feet away from it.
Okay. Like, if they're going to take this tower, so I guess then it's going to provide some vision. And maybe he wouldn't have been able to get that at this point. But it still seems a little premature before they actually kill the tower to be dropping wards there.
He might be trolling. That would be my guess. I mean, have you ever seen two wards this close to each other? Two wards side anyway.
Yes.
Okay, in high-level play, Quincy,
yes.
Not seen them. Really?
Okay, so in the right jungle on the Legion side, past the both hard camps, there's that little outcropping up near the river. If you drop a ward there, it gives you vision of the rune, just barely, and it also shows you the right side of the Legion jungle.
Right.
So we saw a ward dropped on that little outcropping, and one pretty much actually the same distance as the one in the middle. Actually, middle lane looks like Rap's going to be in some trouble, but manages to get away. Lava Surge into a couple. Nice ultimate, saving some damage, but immediately gets canceled. Kelpfield into a few. Chipper looks like he's going to be dying. Sarah dead right off the bat, and there goes Panny as well on the Illuna, but here comes Silhouette. Clean up onto Army of Mums. There's one death and one more. So Lava Surge onto 2. Gemini trying to run away here. Has the Twin Fangs, gets over the cliff. He'll be just fine. Off to the side, Rhapsody also falls, and it looks like Gauntlet going to have some issues getting away from this. Magnus picks up the Refreshment Rune, has the Lava Surge. Chipper Rockets miss, but not enough to prevent them from losing the kill. So Hellborn side 4-1, and this might be the mid push we were all looking for.
Back there?
Yeah, he did.
Smollett has a Firebrand, Nullstone, and Portal Key, and he had that at the 23-minute mark.
Yeah. That's dangerous. Like, I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, the word I was talking about. So it's the one on the outcropping, and then there was just one placed like in that big area on the right side of the Legion jungle that provides a bit of a vision. So yeah,
that's a little bit different since you do have like a significant amount of trees blocking that spot. But look, there's 3 wards right next to each other on the Legion part.
Yeah, okay, now with the one up on the cliff, that's ridiculous. Meanwhile, off the side here, Myrmidon will get caught, and Chipper looking for something on to Bubbles, just barely gonna live.
Wow.
It looks like
20
power
HP.
throw come through. Yep, that'll snipe it.
What?
So that's why Luna's apparently good heroes. That's the second time too. Penny had a long distance snipe on a Torturer last game as well.
That's what makes her fun, is hitting those power throws.
I agree, fun hero, and we used to, like, speaking of top 5 plays, we used to see that in the top 5 plays way too much. Just people like picking up long range power throw snipes before. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't getting that high quality plays, or if he thought that was better. But I don't think that's that impressive. It's mostly just luck.
I agree.
Regardless, it's fun. It's just not that good a hero still.
Yeah.
I mean, like Blacksmith, multicast.
In your honor, Quincy.
You're gonna what? Sorry.
I'm gonna play a Luna today in your honor.
Oh God. Then I'm not TMMing with you because I will rage quit. If you pick Luna. No, I won't.
I'll figure out a way, don't you worry.
No.
Anyway, Gauntlet picks up a portal key, much needed item. 8 to 32, 24k gold, 24k experience difference. I don't know why the Hellborn isn't just ending this. I mean, they might be able to pick up a Kongor first, but they have such a ridiculously big lead that they can just push into the base at this point.
I don't know about
3 push books and a portal key.
I don't really like the portal key here, to be honest. Like, it's not going to give him any damage, it's not going to give him any survivability, and they're already getting initiated on like crazy. Like, if they get the jump, is that really going to make the difference? I seriously doubt it.
Well, I feel like it's a core item on Gauntlet, because if the Gauntlet is an experienced player with that hero, they can portal key, hook them back
here,
to
gonna
where
get destroyed. Sorry. And it looks like the fight's going through, maybe. Silhouette jumping here with the Geometer's Bane, doing a fair bit of damage, but the rest of the Legion side will skirt on into their base and be just fine. Yes, that's true, actually. Magnus does look like he has DD. His ult is very silly. Oh, he does have DD.
I love that Magnus skin, by the way.
God damn it, stop moving. No, it doesn't have DD. It's Chipper that has DD. Somebody's got DD. Chipper getting jumped in there, so there's the hook. And Luna actually getting caught by the weed field. Could be in some trouble thanks to all that tower damage. Push book forward, and she will be okay. But there goes Silhouette jumping back in. Rhapsody ultimate, gonna stop all the damage. So now Silhouette pointing back out with the illusion. Of course, Kelpfield onto a bunch, though. They finally did pick off Panny. Lava Surge away, and Hengif in the background on that Myrmidon gets killed. Looks like Magnus will also fall, but Silhouette is just crushing here. And Chipper and Torture will pick off a couple of kills over here. Silhouette continuing to dive the base. Doesn't care about anything. And it looks like this is finally going to be there.
Who's tuning into this game. He's playing for the Solaire Club. He's a Gemini right now.
Yeah, so sorry about this, man, but we're reliving
game too.
some of this. And yeah, I know. Game 1, you had a fantastic performance on that Clanks.
Definitely.
Should have showed up earlier. But yeah, this is going to be mid-racks, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the CC boats come out. Chipper throws some rockets down. And Wheatfield goes down, just catches a Silhouette illusion. Stuns, followed up by the Lava Surge, so pretty easy cleanup it looks like here. There goes Silhouette jumping right back in. She's pretty low though, and she's gonna fall here. So those tier 4 towers doing a lot of damage. Doesn't really matter. And they will clean up the racks, and Bubbles trying to chase a little bit. Shell Surf is forward. Gauntlet also looking for something, but a Lava Surge onto one. Actually, his take cover stun, or take cover was used onto that stun. Gemini once again missing the twin fags, but there goes Gauntlet with the hook. Aluna going to be in some trouble. Finally, Panley will die. St. Rock's also falling. And Gauntlet now in some trouble as Lava Surge comes back in. A couple more autos will finish him off. Gemini looking to get the hell on out of there. And Twin Fangs just barely. But Portal Key from Chipper and Silhouette. Anyway, CC both goes through. So finally, the Legion side decides that they're out of this game. And we will tie the series up. But final thoughts there, thoughts?
No short of the action in that game.
Yeah.
Before 30 minutes, 54 hero kills. That has my approval.
I definitely agree. Fun game. And Beaverbanger, I don't know how much of that you actually saw, but
Yeah, I was there for like the last 5 minutes.
okay. What based on that 5 minutes, what do you got?
It seemed like Legion started kind of messing around at the end, but I think that I really liked Hellborn's lineup, how aggressive they were with it.
Yeah.
Especially with the chipper pick, the chipper, the mag, the torture. It was a lot of AoE against the Gemini, and I think that's exactly what you need to do against that hero.
No doubt. So this series
You would
will
know
be
best.
the series will be tied up 1-1. Yeah, of course, the top Gemini player here in Beaverbanger. Although Swiftlane did really well with it in CIC, I think when. You guys were playing on the same. We were both playing on TUS, right, in Cycle 2, and
Yeah, we were. I think in Carnage and Caldevar, we played with, I think it was Meisty.
Meisty was
Dig
Cycle
it.
1.
Meisty was Cycle 1?
Yeah.
I think I put around the same time that Meisty quit. Then. I don't think I played with him then.
Anyway, regardless, that's game 2 here. This will tie the series up 1-1, and we'll be